Can I thank?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'd really like to personally thank. I'd just like to take the opportunity really of thanking Allianz PNB Life for really supporting the para-athletes and the Pilipinas POSF. And I hope that you will continue to do so, supporting all our para-athletes in the future. POSF first, but the other sports as well. Pwede ba yun? Attorney Abra?
He was nodding his head, sir.
He was nodding his head.
I think that's a yes.
Mabuhay, Allianz PNB Live. Thank you.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Again, our friends from media, please state your name, your organization, and to whom you're directing your question. Thank you.
Yes, sir. For the floor director, then the Bob Pedralbes of Malaya Business Insight. To Alliance PNB President, CEO Alexander Grants, could we know the extent of the support for our para-athletes as well as the, sorry, there's a feedback, as well as the regular athletes for the national team, etc. What extent is the support being given by Alliance PNB to these athletes, aside from insurance, etc.?
Okay, I mean, of course, as you mentioned already, so primarily, of course, there is financial support in order to support travel, in order to support preparation. But as you rightly mentioned, one component is, of course, also insurance. So as the athletes are traveling, a significant part of that is also travel insurance and travel health insurance as part of that. But financial support is obviously the most important sponsorship part for the athletes.
Okay. To Attorney Agra, because tomorrow we just been informed by the people here of a very significant event which unfortunately we were not aware of. Could you kindly announce once again what will be the event? Because apparently this is going to be a Southeast Asian Game test event as well as for the some para-athletes. So could you give us the details tomorrow of this particular event?
There will be 3 major events tomorrow. The Southeast Asian Games test event for the regular sport.
Obstacle course racing.
Number 2, we have the 2nd Asian OCR Championships. And the 3rd event will be the 1st Asian Para-OCR event.
Asian or ASEAN, sir?
It should be Asian,
yes,
but again, based on the entries, we only have 2 countries who are going to participate in the Para-OCR event tomorrow, namely the Philippines and Singapore.
For both Asian and Asian? Yeah. All three events.
For the regular events,
yes, sir,
we have 10 countries.
Okay.
10 countries. And for the Para-OCR, we have 2 countries. Based on the current list of entries. Because we're still going to open up the registration up to tomorrow morning for walk-in athletes.
So for the Southeast, for the Asian OCR, there will be 10 countries. Could you know what countries these are, sir?
Okay. Philippines, obviously Philippines,
yes, sir.
Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, Guam, Hong Kong,
yes, sir.
Singapore, Indonesia, Marianas, and Vietnam. Ian will be competing under the Australian flag. I'm sorry if I preempted you, Ian.
Okay.
And for the Para-OCR, we have Singapore and the Philippines.
Yes, sir. Again, medyo may tampo kami sa inyo. We didn't know that tomorrow na pala yung test event. So anyway, kasi maganda po talaga yun. How many events will there be tomorrow?
For the
regular Asian.
For the regular event,
yes, sir,
there will be 3 events. The 100 meters with 10 obstacles.
Yes, sir.
The 5 kilometer with 20 obstacles.
Yes, sir.
And the 400 team event, team relay and team assist with 12 obstacles. But for the para-OCR, we only have one event, which is the 100 meters with 10 obstacles.
All right. Sir,
And that will start at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But prior to that, one important aspect of Para Games will be the classification.
Okay.
Ian will act as our all-around classifier for tomorrow's events, because right now we have 5 categories, but we might compress it for tomorrow's event to 3.
All right.
But again, we only have one event tomorrow, the 100 meter,
How many obstacles, sir?
10 obstacles, the same obstacles for the regular sport.
Okay.
The same obstacles. But in certain obstacles, there will be ramps.
Sir,
But it will be the same obstacles.
given the number of participating countries, how do you, up to what time do you expect?
At around 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
8 to 5?
Yes.
Okay. So are there lots to be, especially in the Asian, will there be lots, or will there be according to...
Depends on the format. For the 100, there will be elimination rounds.
All right.
For the 400, depending on the number of entries, there will be elimination rounds.
Okay.
But for the 5 kilometer, they will run in waves. We have the elite wave. Then we have the age group waves.
Yes, sir.
Male and female. And we have the open wave.
How many entries in both ASEAN Para and as well as regular?
Based on the data I received yesterday, there are close to 200 athletes who have signed up as of last night.
Okay.
But we're still opening it up for on-site registration tomorrow as early as 3 a.m.
Okay. Maraming salamat.
Again, if you want to walk through the obstacles, all the obstacles are set up already right across this hotel. By the way, let me acknowledge, thank you to Rizal Park Hotel for being our official hotel. But you can just walk to the to the Quirino Grandstand. Obstacles, all the obstacles are set up there as we speak.
Okay. Just one last question for Mike Barredo, Bong Pedralbes.
Yes, po.
Okay. Nothing about the Philippine Olympic Committee. Okay. Do you think you can muster at least four countries for the ASEAN? It will be a demonstration sport, of course, in the 10th ASEAN Para Games. Three.
For demo 3.
For demo. So can you muster at least 3 countries?
Well, I don't know, we have 2 now. I think Singapore's joined up.
Yes.
Is that correct? And I'm going to ask my partner here from Thailand.
Okay, so you have 3.
In the future, he says.
Okay.
So I don't know if the future is January.
So this year is 2019, next year is 2020. Okay, maraming salamat.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ivan Soleno from Davao, Philippines. To Sir Al, because I'm very curious because you scheduled your SEA Games test event and the Asian OCR event tomorrow morning, right? So what's the difference between the two? Sorry, sir.
Actually, because of the number of participants, we collapsed the 2 into 1 event.
Okay.
The Southeast Asian Games test event will be part of the 2nd Asian OCR Championships. So it's basically one event.
Okay.
Because right now, for the regular event, there are 4 countries entered. Philippines, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Laos. We don't have participants for tomorrow's event from Myanmar and Laos, but we have participants who have signed up from Malaysia. But they will run together with the other 8 other countries.
Okay, so I'm also very curious because tomorrow there's another race that will happen tomorrow.
The Milo event.
Yeah. So how will you be able to address the conflict?
I don't know the route. They might use Rojas Boulevard, but both events will proceed, and hopefully both events will be successful. And again, there will be a pure running event. Our event will be running and obstacles.
So are you looking, but just in case, are you looking forward to seeing those mile marathons to join your race, if in case?
They could, but we have a deadline for the sign up, which is 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
For the on-site,
For the 5K, 6 a.m.
for the 5K, 6 a.m.
For the 100, 9:30.
For the 100, 9:30 a.m. Because the sequence for tomorrow, we will start with 5K, then 100, then 400. The 5K and the 100 are all individual events. The 400 will be a team relay, meaning one athlete does 2 or 3 obstacles, then the next one will do 2 or 3. And we have the team assist, wherein all the athletes must conquer the obstacles together and they can help each other. But for the para OCR, we don't have a team event. We only have the 100 individual event head to head.
Okay. Yun. Rest my case.
Thank you.
Wait.
Good afternoon. I'm Glenn Mariano, Filipino Mirror.
Yan na.
Well,
Welcome to the show.
ASEAN is composed of 11 countries. So, I know your ultimate goal is to promote para games. So, can you encourage other ASEAN members, other countries, to get to be involved in this particular competition?
Yes, sir. Number one, currently there are 7 federations affiliated with the World OCR, 7 federations, and we will be asking these 7 federations to put up their own para OCR committees, commissions, or separate organization. By the way, for your information, later at 6 p.m., we will have the General Assembly in this hotel for OCR Asia and the Pacific. So that will be one aspect of our agenda. Second, we can only do this together with our friends and partners from APSF, from PPC, and hopefully with their help, we will make the cut of 3 countries for the January Asian Para Games.
Well, exactly, there are how many sports at least in the 10 ASEAN Para Games? 16. So, you know, Mike, I covered the last Asian Para Games in Malaysia. You were there. So, how many sports at stake or played in the last Asian Para Games in Kuala Lumpur?
16 also.
16 also. So, how many athletes the Philippines will represent in this particular competition?
Which one? In the games itself?
Let me check.
The whole games?
Yes.
We sent a number, entry by number, something like a little less than 300.
Well, Mike, are you pretty optimistic and positive that we will surpass the medals we got in the last Asian Para Games?
We are hoping to do better than the last Para Games in KL. Our target is to do better, of course.
Who among the medalists in the last Asian Para Games that will compete in the 10 Asian Para Games?
Well, to name some of them would be, of course, Ernie Gawilang for para swimming. We have Josephine Medina for para table tennis. We have Adelaide Dumapong for powerlifting. To Gerald for athletics, to name a few. I don't want to say it now because I think Thailand is listening very closely.
How about Brazil Bronze Olympic table tennis Medina? Is she also?
Yeah, Josephine Medina will still be playing, yeah. Para table tennis.
Last question. How much the Philippine Sports Commission allocated for this particular competition? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, of course I have an idea. They have given us a preparatory budget of 100 million. The budget is in the vicinity of maybe 1/8 or 1/10 of the SEA Games.
Well, last question, Mr. Barido. Well, your goal is to promote Para Games nationwide in the country. So, there are some officials under your stewardship that will conduct nationwide competitions in other parts of the country, not only in Metro Manila.
Yes. Well, we have 2 major events per year that have already, also this year we've already done 2, which is for the grassroots, which is the Palarong Pambansa, which includes already the participation of our young student athletes coming At least right now, I understand 16 regions participated, but in 4 sports. We're hoping to increase that to 6 by the next Palaro. And we just concluded our our 7th edition of the National Para Games. That was held in Malolos, Bulacan, last May, where we had about 1,000 plus athletes from all over the country participating in 13 sports.
Thank you so much, Mr. Torino.
Thank you, Claude.
Dennis from Inquirer Bandiana. To Attorney Agra. Sir, Mr. Adamson mentioned that there were 90 member nations. Am I right? 90 member nations.
Yes. If it's about the World OCR, maybe you can direct your question to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
my question is, how does the Philippines fare in the global scene? The OCR athletes.
I'm shy to answer that. Maybe Ian can answer that on my behalf.
Oh my gosh.
So is the question the ability of the athletes on the world level?
I mean the status of the Philippines in the global stage. How are the country competing against the powerhouses?
So the Philippine athletes, courtesy of POSF and Attorney Agra and their supporters, have competed internationally, including the World Beach OCR Championships in Sardinia last year. And we believe, based on what we've seen in other countries, it depends a little bit on the event style. My opinion and observation is that the Philippine athletes are the fastest in the world in 100 meters. It's probably the most watched event. We see very large numbers watching these events, and they will be coming to Russia for the Ninja OCR World Championships, which is a slightly different format. It looks a little bit more like the television show. And we will see then how they compete, because there we will have the best athletes from all countries. And I was just in Russia watching the Russians on their own course, and pretty convinced the Filipinos will beat them.
In terms of ranking,
No pressure, Ian. No pressure.
No pressure.
What is the record? 100 meters. How fast?
Right now, the 100 meters is about 34 seconds, I believe, which is remarkable if you consider it's 10 obstacles, including a very big wall to finish. The Ninja course is 160 meters and it's 12 obstacles. Everything's a little bit bigger, so the courses are a little bit slower. The record right now is 2 minutes and 34 seconds. I would be quite surprised if a Philippine athlete doesn't go over 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's my guess. Just guessing.
But in terms of ranking, where is the Philippines placed? I mean,
in all events of OCR?
Yeah.
There's no formal way to rank across all events. It's like athletics. You can't really say there's a dominant nation. If you look at the subjective criteria of who performs well across the world, I would say the United States, Canada, Denmark, Sweden are the leading countries today. They've been doing it for a very long time. The US athletes have been competing in a modern version for almost 25 years.
That would be, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
To Sir Ian again, just to add to Dennis' question, because although you mentioned that there is no such thing as a world ranking for OCR, are you looking forward to adding one like so FIBA rankings, FIFA rankings? Are you looking forward to having one as well?
Yes, we're working on a ranking system at the moment. Philippines, very fortunately, and the countries within Asia, we work very closely with them to implement these ideas and structures. So what we're working on currently is a ranking system that is a global system that also ranks nationally. So if an athlete competes, for example, tomorrow, in our global ranking system, they will get a world ranking based on time. So they could compete against someone in Denmark in a different location, but get a ranking against that athlete. So to answer your question, yes, we're working on it, and we believe we will have it functional in a few countries by the end of the year.
Okay. To Sir Mike, so Sir Mike. So, do you have the venues already for the Para Games next year?
Yes, we've identified the 16 sports will be played in 12 venues, all located. Well, we will have, of course, athletics and swimming in the New Clark City area. We will have 7 sports in, let me correct my number, 7 sports in the Clark zone, main zone, and 5 we will have in Subic, and we'll probably bring the judo down from Laos instead, down to the Clark area. And we'll have one sport in Santa Lucia, because there are no, that's for para 10-pin bowling. Those are the venues we've identified.
Santa Lucia in Cainta, right?
That's correct, because there's no 32 lanes bowling alleys in that area.
So basically speaking, yung bowling lang yung technically Metro Manila. Technically.
Is Santa Lucia in Metro Manila?
I mean Cainta.
Metro Manila ba yun?
Technically. Boundary lang ng Pasig.
Correct, yeah. So it'll be in Cainta, Santa Lucia.
Okay.